Okay, tonight we are going to read the from Grimm's Fairy Tales, and it's called The Foundling, and it's my very favorite Grimm's fairy tale. So you probably haven't heard it either because it's not a movie or anything, but it's a good story. Ready? The Foundling. Once upon a time, a forester went out hunting in the forest, and as he entered it, he heard some cries that sounded like that of a small child. He followed the sounds, and eventually he came to a tall tree where he saw a little child sitting on the top. The child's mother had fallen asleep with him under the tree, and a hawk had seen the child in her lap. So it had swooped down, carried the child away with its beak, and set him down on top of a tree. The forester climbed the tree and brought the child down and thought, "You ought to take him home with you and raise him with your little Lena." So he took the boy home, and the two children grew up together. However, the boy who had been found on top of the tree was called Foundling, because he had been carried off by a bird. Foundling and little Lena were very fond of each other. In fact, they loved each other so much that they became very sad if they were not constantly in sight of one another. Now the forester had an old cook, and one evening she took 2 buckets and she began fetching water. But she didn't go to the well simply one time, but many times. When little Lena saw this, she asked, "Tell me, old Santa, why are you fetching so much water?" "If you promise to keep quiet, I'll let you in on my secret." Little Lena, of course, replied that she wouldn't tell a soul. Then the cook said, "Early tomorrow morning, when the forester goes out hunting, I'm going to heat some water over the fire, and when it's boiling, I'm going to throw Foundling in and cook him." Early the next morning, the forester got up to go hunting, and after he had gone, the children were still in bed. Then Lena said to Foundling, "If you won't forsake me, I won't forsake you." "Never, ever," said Foundling. "Well then, I'm going to tell you something important," said little Lena. "Last night, old Santa carried many buckets of water into the house, and I asked her why she was doing that. She said if I wouldn't tell a soul, she'd let me in on her secret, and I promised her not to tell a living soul. Then she said that early in the morning, when my father goes out hunting, she would boil a kettle full of water, throw you in, and cook you. So let's get up, quickly, dress ourselves, and run away together." The 2 children got up, dressed themselves quickly, and ran away. And when the water in the kettle began to boil, the cook went into the bedroom to get Foundling and throw him into the kettle. But as she entered the room and went over the beds, she saw that the 2 children were gone, and she became greatly alarmed. "What shall I say when the forester comes home and sees that the children are gone?" she said. "I better send some people after them so that we can get them back." So the cook sent 3 servants to pursue them and bring them back. But the children were sitting at the edge of the forest, and they saw the servants coming from afar. "If you won't forsake me, I won't forsake you," said little Lena. "Never, ever," said Foundling. "Then change yourself into a rose bush, and I'll be the rose on it," said little Lena. When the 3 servants reached the edge of the forest, they saw nothing but a rose bush with a little rose on it. The children were nowhere to be seen. "There's nothing we can do here," they said, and they went home, where they told the cook they had seen nothing but a rose bush with a rose on it. Then the cook scolded them. "You blockheads! You should have cut that rose bush in 2, plucked the rose, and brought it back with you. Now go quickly and do it." So they set out once more to look for the children. But when the children saw them coming from afar, little Lena said, "If you won't forsake me, I won't forsake you." "Never, ever," said Foundling. "Then change yourself into a church, and I'll be the chandelier hanging in it," little Lena said. When the 3 servants arrived at the spot, there was nothing but a church and a chandelier inside it. "What should we do here?" "Let's go home." When they got home, the cook asked whether they had found anything, and they said no. They'd found nothing but a church with a chandelier inside. You fools, the cook scolded them. Why didn't you destroy the church and bring back the chandelier? This time the old cook set herself out on foot and accompanied by the 3 servants to pursue the children. But the children saw the 3 servants coming from afar, and also the cook, who was waddling behind them. Foundling, said little Lena, if you won't forsake me, I won't forsake you. Never, ever, said Foundling. Then change yourself into a pond, said little Lena, and I'll be the duck swimming in it. When the cook arrived and saw the pond, she lay down beside it and began to drink it up. However, the duck quickly swam over, grabbed her head in its beak, and dragged her into the water. The old witch was thus drowned, and the children went home together. They were very happy, and if they haven't died, they are still alive. That's the Foundling.